Over here, exile. Another day in the land of plenty. Ready for the hunt? Looking fierce today, exile. I like it. Yes? What do you need? This land is crawling with vermin. 8-legged, no-legged, and everything in between. Life here has become twisted and hateful, and it's eating Rayclast alive. Unless we do something about it. Unless we clear away this infestation. Nature doesn't stand a chance while it has creatures like that at its throat. You want to make an impression around here? Hunt these vermin down and put an end to them. I've a certain pack of vermin in mind. Stronger and more vicious than most. Track them to their home territory and wipe them out. I've a certain pack of vermin in mind. A truly twisted and ravenous lot. They range across quite a large territory, so be prepared to cover some ground. Hunt them down wherever they might be and put an end to them. To help you out, I'm going to share a little trick with you. A bit of thaumaturgical tracking that I picked up during my time here in Rayclast. If your quarry is nearby, it'll point you in their direction. Slay that creature, and my little trick will point you towards the next closest beastie. The whole thing stinks of corruption, I know. But sometimes you have to behave like the animal you want to kill. To help you out, I'm going to share a little trick with you. A bit of thaumaturgical tracking that I picked up during my time here in Rayclast. If your quarry is nearby, it'll point you in their direction. The whole thing stinks of corruption, I know. But sometimes you have to behave like the animal you want to kill. For this hunt, I'm going to share a piece of bushcraft with you. Well, bushcraft smeared with thaumaturgy. The corrupted creatures tend to mark their territory with their foulness. This trick allows you to pick up that scent and follow it home. The whole thing stinks of corruption, I know. But you can't expect to put your nose to the ground without getting it dirty. You know, looking at it more closely, you could do with a helping hand on this foray. Here's a little trick I've picked up during my time here in Rayclast. A bit of bushcraft dipped in thaumaturgy. You slay a corrupted creature, and this trick will allow you to remember its stink right down to their dying fart. Makes it easier to find others that stink the same, you see. You hear that? That's the sound of nature taking its first decent breath in far too long. The more vermin we turn into fertilizer, the more nature can breathe and grow in peace. Come see me when you're next in the forest encampment. I can always use a good colour. It's in our nature to fail. It's how we learn, and when we stop learning, we die. There, did that cheer you up? Don't be shy about approaching me the next time our trails cross out here. I can always use someone who knows how to embrace failure. The latest dominant pack are yet to rear their ugly heads. Practice your craft on the lesser vermin for now, and check in with me the next time you're in the forest encampment. The latest dominant pack are yet to rear their ugly heads. Sharpen your skills on lesser vermin for now, and we'll see what culling I have for you the next time we meet. Good to see you alive and well, Culler. I've been thinking about you and what else we might be able to do for each other. I've learned to make do with what's at hand in Rayclast. Nowadays, if it shoots, then I know how to make it shoot faster, straighter, and harder. If you're open to a little trading, I can find you a thing or two that'll help you get the drop on even the nastiest of corrupted vermin out there. There you are. Good. There's fresh vermin roaming about out there, and the trail is still warm. That's more like it. The tang of a fresh kill and a new beginning. This land owes you one. And so do I. Look me up the next time you're in the forest encampment. Even the hawk misses her prey now and then. Don't worry about it. And make sure you come talk to me the next time you're in the forest encampment. I have one word for your failure. Dominus. See? Even nature makes mistakes. Just make sure you come and talk to me in the forest encampment soon. Hold on to your failures, Culler. They can be as powerful as any bow or arrow. We'll talk about it more when next I see you in the forest encampment. I do believe you and I are beginning to see eye to eye, Culler. A Rayclast that's free of parasites, free to grow anew. Let's talk when next you're in the forest encampment. We make a good team and I'd like to build on that. I've another corrupted clan of abominations for you to cull. There's culling to be done, and I have just the foul flock in mind. There's some creatures out there that aren't killing each other fast enough. We need to give them a helping hand. You in the mood for some hunting? If so, I have the perfect quarry for you. You've a real knack for slaughter, no doubt about it. The trails are cold at the moment, but they'll warm up again soon enough. Patience, Colour. Our next quarry will show itself when it's good and ready. Just the usual nastiness about at the moment. I'll let you know when the situation worsens. I'll let you know when I hear the next pack of freaks baying for extermination. All is quiet for now. Don't worry, it won't stay like that for long. Creature by creature, we'll put this land to rights. You know, I really do like the way this partnership's working out. I think it's time we made it a bit more solid. Meet me in town and I'll tell you what I've got in mind. The vermin might have the strength of corruption on their side, but we've got something better. Good old human willpower. No one said this job was going to be easy. I know your kills might feel like drops in the ocean, but how else are oceans made? Be proud of yourself, Colour. Who else would be prepared to squeeze the pimples on the hindquarters of creation? And that's how we fertilize the soil in preparation for the coming of spring. You and I, Colour, clearing the way so that nature can return to her rightful place in this sorry land. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? You know what, Colour? We need to make sure you're properly equipped for the hunt. I've picked up a few things while I've been roaming the wilds, and I've been doing a bit of fletching and bowcrafting when I can. Have a look and see if anything takes your fancy. I've spotted that new hideaway of yours, by the way. Don't panic, that's what I do. Find that what doesn't want to be found. Hunting down your posse was no easy feat, so you needn't worry about anyone else spoiling your peace and quiet. Apart from me, that is, as I'm actually in need of somewhere new to sling my bow. How about it? Need some company? Every predator needs a den. Somewhere to rest and heal, somewhere to avoid becoming prey yourself. I've got somewhere in mind just like that. A place of safety for both of us. Want to see it? Every predator needs a den. Somewhere to rest and heal. Somewhere to avoid becoming prey yourself. Of course, I've spotted that new hideaway of yours. Don't panic. That's what I do. Find that what doesn't want to be found. Trouble is, hunting down your posse was a little too easy. We wouldn't want anyone else spoiling your peace and quiet, would we? Luckily, I found another place. Something far more secluded. Want to see it? Always on the lookout for something better, huh? That's a survivor's attitude, that is. Now this is what I call a lair. I dare you, Colour. Find me one reason why this place isn't perfect. Just one. I knew you'd like it. Look, it's even got room for 1 or 2 other hunters to join our cause. Be careful who you invite, though, Colour. Not all hunters are created equal. It's here that I fletch the swiftest of arrows, craft the surest of bows. I've been doing this since I was a child, so I'm sure there's a thing or two I could teach you. If you're interested, that is. What am I saying? Of course you are. You're a hunter, aren't you? You know what makes us the top of the food chain, Colour? Our teeth and claws are blunt, our muscles are slow, we can't fly and we can't swim with a dam either. That's why we invented the bow and the arrow. There's not a single animal in creation that can kill from as far away as we can, making us the ruling predators in this land. You're doing all right, Colour. You're doing very bloody all right. You keep cutting a swathe through the vermin like you have been, and we might just start getting somewhere. Of course, keep in mind that corruption isn't going to just sit about and take this kind of punishment. It's a living, breathing thing. As we adapt and grow stronger, so will it. You know how I got myself exiled? I was out hunting for my evening meal. Poaching, the lord of that manor would have said. I was just lining up a nice fat pigeon when a fox shot past me, the most beautiful specimen I'd ever seen. Perfection in nature. Then I heard the baying of the hounds. Normally I would have made myself scarce at that point, but something changed within me that day. I don't know if it was seeing the fox or just something that had been building up inside of me over time. Probably both. I killed the hounds, and when the lord of the manor objected, I killed him too. Back in Oriath, the vermin had all the power. In Rayclast, there's still more than enough to go around. I lost my way for a bit when I first came to Rayclast. I'd mastered the wilderness of Oriath, but this place, it was so different, so corrupted, that my hard-earned habits just about got me killed. You, though, you started your time in Rayclast as a blank slate. No mastery, but no bad habits either. You're more a part of Rayclast now than I'll ever be, and I have to admit, I'm a bit envious. Nature loves you, Exile. I've spent most of my life with her, so I can tell when she takes a shining to someone. The way your body has adapted to the rigours of the hunt, the clarity of your instincts, and the intuitive way in which you move across the land, she's nurtured you, from the inside out, helping you become what she's needed you to become. She's proud of you, Colour. And damn it all, so am I. You know how I think of you now, Colour. You're that fox, the one I saw back in Oriath, the one that brought it all together for me. I grew up putting nature above everything else. To me, people were the problem, a vermin bent on consuming everything beautiful in the world. Coming to Rayclast proved that there are worse things in the world than people. And then I met you. Whether you meant to or not, you proved to me once and for all that people aren't the problem. In truth, people are the only hope that Rayclast has. People like you. Looking to go hunting, are you? I've got just the litter of freaks for you. Corrupt as sin and twice as mean. Try not to get yourself eaten. Good hunting, Colour. Good hunting. Varici thinks himself above and beyond the natural order. One of these days I'm going to remind him that he's not. Katerina pares back the skin and looks upon the truth in flesh and bone. If anyone has seen how deep the corruption goes, it's Katerina. A road allows fools to travel from here to there without getting killed. Xana's maps will only encourage those fools to step off the road. The way he moves, the way he gets all sweaty and glowy when he fights. I'd not complain with Vagan to find his way into my den. Elrion seems to think that God is going to save this land. With a little help from us, this land can save its bloody self. Haku's a man who knows how to live. Plain and simple. Blood apes. Foragers they once were. Same as the ones in Oriath. Nuts, berries, maybe the odd bug for a touch of meat in the diet. Now meat's all they're interested in. Why are they like this? Corruption. Wherever it came from, now it's in everything and changes everything. Turns plant-eater into meat-eater, prey into hunter. There's not much of a food chain anymore. What you're eating today will happily eat you tomorrow. I don't know why yet, but some creatures are able to soak up more corruption than others, and it twists them in extremely dangerous ways. Some heal scary quick, others can charge through a bonfire without singeing a single hair. The worst'll suck the life out of you with the barest touch. There's no rhyme nor reason as to which creatures sport these gifts. It's not passed down from parent to litter, as far as I can tell. Maybe something chooses them. Now there's a frightening bloody thought. I've been doing some digging around, in entrails and animals' brains mostly, and I'm starting to see a pattern. The corruption isn't just warping these animals. I've seen many a freak of nature before. The spawn of inbreeding. Other times the results of crossbreeding that never should have happened. Those sorts of animals can be unusually strong in some ways, incredibly feeble in others. The creatures of Rayclast are far stronger than they should be in every way. Their minds and instincts are hardened with aggression. Their bodies have twisted in very specific ways, and for a common purpose that can be seen in all the species I've dissected. To kill. There's nothing haphazard in what these creatures have become. I see a plan. And where there's a plan, there's always a planner. Not a thought that helps you sleep at night. I think I might be onto something here, and to be honest, it scares me bloody frigid. Nature is a fairly brutal mistress at the best of times. Meat-eaters feed on the plant-eaters. Plants feed on the carcasses of animals that have rotted and returned to the earth. That's just how survival works. But in Rayclast, survival has turned into something else. Almost every animal exists to kill and feed at a rate that should have made this land barren over the last couple of centuries. Why isn't it? Because every living thing in Rayclast breeds and grows at a rate far beyond what is natural. Animals kill each other at a horrific rate, but there's always more to replace them. And so I think I have an answer. The plan here isn't survival any longer. It's slaughter. Whoever or whatever created this plan, it wants, maybe needs, to have carnage on a massive scale. Why? I wish I knew, but what I do know is that Rayclast's future won't be a pretty one unless this plan is stopped.
Don't make me hunt you down. Never provoke a wild animal in its den. Don't interfere, Exile. This isn't your business. You'll have to be swift if you hope to stop the Syndicate. The hunt is on! There is no deeper cruelty than caging a wild animal. Don't expect our previous dealings to save you now. You won't get me to betray the Syndicate this time, Exile. The cycle of life and death continues, and the fittest grow fitter. You failed in the past, Exile. You'll fail again. Death feeds life in the grand cycle. The earth is eager to meet you. Be like the earth. Become stone. I was born with a bow in my hands, swift like the wind. A mother bear will fight to the death to protect her cubs. This den is ours, Exile. We are no helpless prey. This cycle of life and death needs time to finish. Wolves hunt in packs for a reason. On the prowl! You should know better than to wander into strange dens. Shall we wait for your god, Eldrion, or shall we snare this exile ourselves? Oh, Vegan, it's you. Shall we fight together? Prove your worth, unnatural one. Let us take down this exile. Allow me to help you channel a bit of that Ezemite savagery, Thane. Some prey must be caught with carefully laid traps. Are you ready, Riker? Let's put this animal down. This failing den needs to be rooted out. You've forgotten nature's most important lesson. Protect your resources. Nothing about this place is natural. Sometimes rabid animals must be culled. You know why you deserve my arrows, Vegan. You're not above the natural order, Varici. I shall remind you. Nature rejects you, thing. Killing must be for a purpose. Care for a clash, Riker? All of you must be put down. This won't end well for you. Your place is with the pack. Or in the dirt. You're undercutting the success of our entire organization. I've more than enough arrows for all. When you're bleeding out in the dirt, remember, this was your decision. Really? What do you think happens to wild animals that lose a limb? Small consolation, Vegan. Tiny. I saw your approach, Guff. I just didn't care. I will never let you catch me, brute. This world existed long before man or gods, and it will live on long after you are dust. Then let the chase begin. It seems only nature itself is trustworthy. Enrage the pack. Face the alpha. This hunt has only just begun. We shall surely succeed. Careful. A cornered animal is twice as dangerous. Be ready to use that hook, Leo. Do as I say, Vegan, and I might not stick you with an arrow. You might not follow the rules of nature, thing. But you'll follow mine if you want to survive. Let's try my way for this one, Thane. We'll use your traps for this hunt, Riker. I'm leading this hunt now. The weak perish. Such is life. You should have stayed out of this. The Syndicate's death toll climbs. A successful hunt. Like I always say, only the fittest survive. A hunter hides their trail. Like the bird escaping the cat, I can fly. You can't. Nest invader! Damn your lust for wreckage. Nature is wounded here. Only fair. The cage beckons. We're not beasts. We can settle this. Other ways. Like before. You're making my life complicated, Exile. The cycle of life and death is supposed to be general, not specific. It seems you've evolved. I was too slow. I pounced too recklessly. You're more savage than any animal. What do you want from me? Some beasts congregate for a mate, some for food or warmth. Knowing how a relationship can better your quality of life is important out here. The relationship doesn't necessarily even have to be your own. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Crows are very interesting, Exile. Did you know that crows can not only build personal relationships with each other, but learn, retain, and teach information to each other? Quite a useful skill, if I may say so. A species' survival is only truly tested when its environment changes. If you want to kill me, then kill me. If you want to test me, well, I have an idea. You've seen what the Syndicate is doing, have you not? Unnatural is the only way I feel it could accurately be described. I'm not about that life. Not now, anyway. I think it's about time I migrated elsewhere. A huntress who doesn't know her environment is a dead huntress. I didn't plan on dying today, so how about I tell you what I've learned here instead? I don't care for material things, but perhaps you do. Ugh, people. All right. Here's to practicing social skills. Adapt or die, exile. Adapt or die. They'll never find me. I appreciate it. May your nest be shiny. A wolf pack without its alpha is far less of a threat than one with a ferocious leader. Together, we can topple the alpha here and put me in charge. The strong eat the weak in nature, and so it can be here. I do have the capability to have someone rejected by the pack completely. I'll tell you all I know as long as I don't have to go through the cold and dark torture that is resurrection by the life-giver. Haku's too trusting to be in the syndicate. Allow me to betray him softly before someone else does far worse. I've half a mind to turn against Vegan. He knows what he did. Varici unsettles me. His inclinations fall far outside the natural order. You and I could come to an agreement that might contain his violent excesses. That brute, Hillock, needs a few more arrows in his hide. If you've got any conscientious bone in your body, you'll understand that someone who does what he does to women, and men too, is not someone to have as an ally. Chimeria is more violent, more base than any beast I've come across. He does not kill for survival, he kills for pleasure. And he doesn't stop getting his jollies once his victims are dead. If you have any sense of justice within you, please help me handle him. It's survival of the fittest, especially in the syndicate. And I don't mean physical strength. This is a deadly game of cats and mice that covers all of Rayclast. Are you a cat, or are you a mouse? Death is a natural part of life. I've made my peace. In front of my leader, I can show no fear. In front of my brethren, I can only be brave. No more cages. I'd rather die. Animals turn on each other in times of scarcity. At least my path is real, Karui, unlike your unseen way. And what's that, Guff? Are you planning to ask me on a date? Survival of the fittest versus might makes right. Which of us shall eclipse the other in the end, Thane? I have a better idea, Chimeria. How about you leave and never return? You are proof, Aisling, that sometimes nature makes mistakes. All part of the cycle. Today you rise and I fall, but tomorrow will be different. Feel confident in your caging only if you believe the caged will never escape and come find you. You are truly a savage beast. When bargaining is no longer enough, you show your true colors. Violence is part of the natural order. You've accomplished nothing, Exile. Death is meaningless to the Syndicate. Sometimes violence is the only way. Rise. If I must fall, respect the natural order by rising to your potential. Target practice! Target practice! Target practice! The hunt never ends! The hunt never ends! The hunt never ends! Prove yourself! Prove yourself! Prove yourself!